Let's take a look at how HR is different in terms of management in small businesses. Managing human resources in small firms is different for four main reasons. As a rule, it's not until a company reaches about 100 employees that it can afford an HR specialist. Yet, even 5 or 6 person retail shops recruit, select, train, and pay employees. So, it's usually the owner or their assistant that does HR tasks. The bookkeeper might handle payroll as an example. As a result, SHRM found several years ago that even firms with under 100 employees often spend the equivalent of 2 or so people's time per year addressing human resource management issues. One effect is that the human resource management tends to be more informal in smaller organizations. For instance, training tends to be informal with an emphasis on methods like coworker and supervisory on-the-job training. Entrepreneurs are people who create businesses under risky conditions, and starting new businesses is always risky. Entrepreneurials, therefore, tend to be dedicated and visionary and somewhat controlling. This combination of small size, priorities, informality, and entrepreneurial tendencies can easily translate into several problems for small firms' human resource management practices. First, inadequate human resource practices may put small business owners at legal risk. For example, violating Family Medical Leave Act regulations and not paying for overtime hours are a few critical issues. Second, not having a dedicated HR person can slow company decisions and overwhelm its managers. Third, without human resource information systems, paperwork is time consuming and duplication may create data entry error. Fourth, it could be a competitive disadvantage. Startups can't assume that all they need is an employee handbook. In fact, small firms with effective HR practices do better than those without them. One study focused on 168 family-owned, high-growth, small and medium-sized entrepreneurial or enterprises. Successful SMEs placed more emphasis on training and development, performance appraisal, recruitment packages, maintaining morale, and setting competitive compensation levels than less successful ones. Effective human resource management is also required for getting and keeping big customers. Complying with federal employment law is a thorny issue for entrepreneurs. For example, Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act applies to employers with 15 or more employees, while the Age Discrimination in Employment Act of 1967 applies to those with 20 or more. The U.S. Department of Labor provides e-law advisors for laws covering matters like pay and benefits and health and safety. Using e-laws advisors is a bit like having an expert for advice, for example, about overtime requirements. Typically, these laws might include the Employee Polygraph Protection Act, the Fair Labor Standards Act, Occupational Safety and Health Act, Uniform Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act, and the Whistleblower Act. The EEOC, who administers Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, Title I of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and others, has a website designed to provide small business owners with practical advice. The DOL's Occupational Safety and Health Administration site provides specific guidance and checklists for small business and managers. OSHA's site provides, among other things, easy access to OSHA's Small Business Handbook. This contains practical information including industry-specific safety and accident checklists. Online tools can make small business owners effective at recruiting applicants. For example, ONET is an online tool that enables business owners to create accurate job descriptions and specifications quickly. Small business owners can also use the online recruiting tools available to them. The best applicant tracking software does more than track job candidates. They also automatically post open jobs to websites. Social media recruiting entails risks. As an example, conversing with someone who uses Facebook profiles and reviews an ethnic background could expose the employer to discrimination suits if the applicant isn't hired. Social media recruiting can't substitute for in-person interaction. Some tests are so easy to use that they're particularly helpful for small firms. Many vendors, including Wonderlic and Predictive Index, offer online applicant testing and screening services. Some other small businesses recruiting and selecting would suggest including, not forgetting the obvious. Sometimes the easiest way to get good candidates is a help wanted sign on the door. Keep it local and in the industry. Use online job boards that target particular industry or cities to minimize irrelevant applicants. Use online tests, for instance, to test an applicant's proficiency at QuickBooks or even selling over the phone. Tap friends of employees for recommendations and use social networking sites like LinkedIn. Interview Stream is one of several vendors that records online video interviews. It sends the candidate an email invitation with a link. Hiring managers can review the videos at their leisure. Online training can provide training that is used beyond most small employers' reach. Online sources range from private vendors to the Small Business Administration and the National Association of Manufacturers. The Buyer's Guide from the Association for Talent Development lists many vendors. Online learning platforms make it easy to access off-the-shelf and customized programs. Small employers have easy access to online appraisal and compensation services. For example, Oracle's Compensation e-Performance lets managers formalize employees' goals and then assess progress towards meeting them. SAP SuccessFactors provides particularly effective performance management assistance. It facilitates assigning goals, helps management provide feedback, and makes it easy to review goal attainment as part of performance appraisal. Similarly, lack of easy access to high-priced salary surveys once made it difficult for small businesses to adjust their pay scales. Today, sites like Salary.com and Glassdoor.com make it easy to determine local and national pay rates. Benefits administration packages make it easy for employers to register employees for benefits. Average injury rates for small businesses are somewhat lower than in big companies. However, most people work for a small business, so that's still a huge number of total accidents. Small business managers should have a command of the tools and techniques used to keep employees safe. OSHA provides tools for employers, including free on-site safety service for small business. The OSHA SHRP program is a process through which OSHA certifies small employers. In addition to online recruitment and selection tools, small business managers shouldn't forget simple, low-tech selection aids. For example, have the candidates show how they'd actually do one of the tasks of the job. PEOs range from specialized payroll companies to ones that handle all HR needs. At a minimum, these firms take over the employer's payroll tasks. Usually, however, PEOs shoulder most of the employer's human resource chores. By transferring the client's firm's employees to the PEO's payroll, PEOs become co-employers of record for the employer's employees. The PEO can then fold the clients into employees in their insurance and benefit programs, usually at a lower cost. The PEO usually handles activities such as recruiting, hiring, and payroll and taxes. PEO's companies like Paychex provide payroll, tax, and benefit processing, but also handle recruiting and training. ADP TotalSource handles payroll processing for thousands of employers. Some small business owners turn to PEOs to avoid personnel-related problems. Not having dedicated human resources can slow down company decision-making, overwhelm its managers, and put small businesses at legal risk. They may also not be at a competitive advantage in hiring, training, and compensating employees. However, insurance and benefits are often the big PEO attraction. Getting health and other insurance is often a problem for smaller firms. That's where employee leasing comes in. The PEO absorbs the client firm's employees as its own. That often enables the PEO to offer larger benefit packages more cheaply than a small business could do on its own. There are several potential downsides to PEOs. Many employers view their human resource management practices as strategic and aren't inclined to turn them over to outsiders. Furthermore, the fact that former employees get their health insurance through the PEO has cons as well as pros. For example, if the PEO goes out of business, its small business clients may scramble to replace their insurance. And if the PEO decides to switch insurance plans, your own employees may not be pleased. Very small employers may start with manual human resource management systems. In practice, this generally means obtaining and organizing a set of standardized personnel forms covering each aspect of an HR process, as well as some means for organizing all this information for each of your employees. The number of forms you would conceivably need, even for a small firm, is quite large. One simple way to obtain a manual system's basic forms is from websites that provide compilations of HR forms. Numerous office supply stores and direct mail catalog companies also sell HR materials. These can be adapted from their sources for your particular situation. There are also various legal compliance forms as well as posters available. As a company grows, a more comprehensive and integrated human resource information system becomes advisable. We can define HRIS as human resource software that unifies HR management processes such as applicant tracking, hiring, training, performance management, benefits administration, and payroll into one automated system. PC Magazine recently listed several top HR software packages. They include Gusto, Bamboo HR, namely Sage Business Cloud People, Kronos Workforce, and SAP SuccessFactors. As an example, Bamboo HR handles personnel tasks including applicant tracking, employee time off tracking, HR reporting, online employee self and onboarding, and performance management. There are several benefits to be gained by installing an HRIS like this. Maintaining and updating employee records takes a lot of time. Small businesses therefore first adopt HR software packages to manage their personnel records. And by interacting with the company's employee database, these packages also produce employment data-related trend graphs and reports on personnel metrics such as turnover and compensation cost. PC Magazine recently rated Bamboo HR as an editor's choice for these tasks. HRIS software components enable the employer to re-engineer its HR function. For example, Oracle's PeopleSoft HRS 103 electronically routes salary increases, transfers, and other e-forms through the organization to the proper managers for approval. As one person signs off, it's routed to the next. If someone forgets to process a document, a smart agent issues reminders. The HRIS thus automates what might otherwise be a time-consuming manual process. Many firms today offer HRIS packages. The website for the International Association for Human Resource Information Management lists vendors such as Automatic Data Processing Inc., ADP, Lawson Software, Oracle Corporation, SAP America, and many others as HRIS vendors. PC Magazine provides an annual HR software editor choice list. Take a look, it'll provide great HRIS ideas. Most suppliers of human resource management systems offer cloud-based systems. Particularly for small businesses, the advantages of cloud systems are that the vendors can easily update them with the latest features and the owner and employees can access the information anywhere they are. Bamboo HR illustrates an HR system especially designed for small and medium-sized businesses. The system enables authorized managers and employees to securely and remotely access data like time off and personal information, and to produce reports or follow trends on the system's customizable dashboard. It was also designed to be integrated with compatible applications, so it can be integrated with the small business's existing payroll system, applicant tracking system, benefits enrollment systems, and performance review systems. As another example, many employers outsource benefits administration to cloud-based services offered by firms like Zenefits. A new employee uses their laptop or mobile device of choice to access the Zenefits website. They can then input personal information and sign documents via a touchscreen.